Good evening. My name is Donald Mackay and I'm the leader of UKIP Scotland. This video is about the subject of abolishing, or if you prefer, scrapping the Scottish Parliament. I'm not going to analyse the reasons why we should do this. They are already discussed on another YouTube video available at a speech which I gave at Newport in September of 2019. This film is making the assumption that you are one of the people who are sympathetic in Scotland to the abolition of the Holyrood Parliament. In January of this year, 2020, UKIP commissioned a surveyation poll and discovered that 16% of the population, the voting population of Scotland, would be in favour of abolishing the Scottish Parliament. The problem is an obvious one. How do we do that? How do we become any kind of electoral force? If you want to abolish the Scottish Parliament, bluntly, which party do you vote for? Well, we won't go through them all. The Scottish National Party, I don't think so. Labour, Conservative, Liberals, they love the Scottish Parliament. The media loves the Scottish Parliament. So there's no voice out there for people who want to get rid of it. Well, that's where we come in, because UKIP's official policy throughout the United Kingdom is to abolish the devolved assemblies. We want to abolish the Welsh Assembly, the Scottish Parliament and Stormont. The electoral system for the Scottish Parliament is not particularly easy to follow, so I'll give you a very brief resume of it. There will be an election in May in 2021, that's in a year's time, and the Scottish Parliament has 129 members. Of the 129, 72 are elected by first past the post constituency seats, rather like the Westminster elections. These we are not concerned with because we don't have the resources to contest those seats. But what we are concerned with is the list regions. Scotland is divided into 8 regions. They are Glasgow, Lothian, Central, Mid Scotland and Fife, South of Scotland, West of Scotland, Highlands and Islands, North East Scotland. If you live in Scotland, you will live in one of those regions, and at the Scottish Parliament election you will have 2 votes. What we're asking you to consider is that in the first vote, the constituency vote, you vote for the normal party of your choice, whatever that may be. But in the second vote, the list vote, you consider lending us, if I can use that word, lending UKIP your vote, because we are the only party that I'm aware of will be standing in these elections throughout Scotland who want to get rid of the Parliament itself. We have a chance, and if we get the right number of votes, more than a reasonable chance of getting at least one MSP elected in 2021. At the last Scottish Parliament election in 2016, there was a party that got elected on 5.3% of this list vote, which works out at about 17,000 votes. Now, there's a little bit of arithmetic involved, which I won't go into because it is somewhat complex, but we're looking at approximately 6% of the vote in the lists to get somebody elected. And if one person in 6 in Scotland wants rid of the Holyrood Parliament, we think this is a realistic option. It is as simple as that. I don't want to labour the point. We're focusing on the election in 2021 and we're focusing on the list vote, and we're asking you, whatever your normal party allegiance is, to consider lending us that vote in May 2021. What can you do to help? Obvious perhaps, try and make sure you're on the electoral roll. That's not too difficult. You can usually do it online, but if you prefer not to, you can contact your local authority and they can confirm that you're on the roll or give you the procedure to be put on the roll. It's fairly straightforward and doesn't cost anything. We have a Facebook page called Scrap the Scottish Parliament. It would be most helpful if you went onto that page, and in particular if you liked that page, and we will keep that page updated as much as possible with any relevant articles. Finally, I say lend us your vote, and if you're particularly wanting to help us, you can always consider joining the party. Our contact in Scotland can be contacted by email. It's Janice Mackay. Her email address is janice.mackay, Mackay, @ukip.org. You can contact her also through the Scottish Parliament Facebook page and also UKIP Scotland's own Facebook page. But this is simple stuff. It's straightforward enough. We're going to try and get people elected. We're going to try and cause difficulties in that Parliament for the people that are there, who are second rate anyway and are there for their own purposes. We're trying to get rid of the Parliament. If you're with us, you want to help us, then thank you for watching this film, and please help us in any way that you can. Thank you very much.